What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Viv Lux. I am here with Chef Perry, the man, the myth, the legend of Katsu Kart here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am in his kitchen today. He told me we're doing something amazing with mushrooms.
All right, we got some beautiful mushrooms from Urban Gourmet Farms. We've got some oyster mushrooms. We've also got some beautiful lion's mane and then some shiitake mushrooms. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a minchi.
Okay.
So in Japan, it's very common street food. It's normally beef traditionally, but today, obviously, working with your flow. So we're gonna do a vegan version of that. Got some fresh herbs, some onions, some aromatics, make a nice little patty with it. And then as Katsu Kart does, we're gonna do a sando with it. We also got vegan, almost like a milk bread. It's called loud, nice and fluffy, a little sweet. So I guess we'll break down some mushrooms. We'll just take the stems off a few of these. Primarily, we're gonna do shiitake and oyster, and then this is gonna kind of just be the little cherry on top.
Right, little fluff.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got everything cut down. Look at this variety happening in here. I see you brought the fruit processor out.
That's right. So we've got just some ginger that I peeled already, a little bit of garlic, some sweet onion. This is actually dried shiitake mushroom powder, just some basic salt and pepper. And then this is just some chives that I minced up, and then just some really nice fresh Italian flat leaf parsley. Again, all these things are just really to kind of help bind everything, you know.
Give us some good flavor, kind of lift those mushrooms up a little bit.
Exactly. And then we're just gonna add a little touch of sesame oil, just for that nuttiness, and also just to add a little bit of fat to the mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you wanna help me scoop some shrooms into this, and we'll start blending these guys up.
Let me grab a glove.
Yeah, we got the mini gloves for you.
Baby gloves always, see?
Let's start with just like a handful at first, and we'll just kind of go in batches from there.
All right, you got it.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
All right, so we pulsed everything. It looks really great.
So now we're just gonna add some aromatics to it, season it up really nice. Just microplane, so we'll just go some nice fresh ginger. A little goes a really long way. And same thing with garlic. I tend to use a lot of garlic sometimes, but for this application, we're not trying to scare away any vampires, you know, so we'll just go light, maybe just like 1 clove of garlic in there for this amount. And then this is just a sweet onion. Again, same thing, you know, just grating it.
I've never seen anyone grate an onion into a mix before.
See, you're getting a little bit of the water out too, like that. So you're just getting that paste of it and not so much of the liquid of it, you know. And this is our shiitake mushroom powder.
Okay.
A little bit of this goes a long way as well. And then this is white soy sauce.
Ooh.
So this one's not as salty, but it's got a lot of umami. Then just some kosher salt, just a little bit. And then again, we'll go back to our black pepper. I'm from the South, so I tend to use a lot of black pepper.
I like black pepper.
I like
spice, I like kick, so...
Yeah, there's a lot of chefs who are kind of weird about black pepper, but I'm like, go in, you know, look,
go all in.
Go for it, go for it.
I mean, we're making a patty, so...
Exactly. All right, so we'll mix this through. So at this stage, you know, normally I would use like an egg binder. We're not gonna do that today, obviously, because it's you. So this is methyl cellulose. This is something that you can use as a binder for a lot of things. It's a thickening agent, but it's plant-based, and some people can really kill something with this. Like you use a lot of it, and it'll make it like hard as a rock. Yeah, so we're just gonna go a little bit of this. So like maybe a teaspoon, and then we'll just kind of mix that in there.
He's giving the food the love that it needs right now.
That's right.
That hand motion is where the love is.
That's right.
Oh, I smell the sesame oil, and I smell that, what was it, soy sauce?
Yeah, shiro soy. Yeah, so shiro's white in Japanese. Shiro soy sauce. Yeah.
We're learning a lot today with Chef Perry. I like this.
Yeah.
All right, so we mixed everything. We got the cellulose. I see it kind of activating. So next step is what, making the patty?
Yeah, so we're gonna make our little football-shaped patties. I'll do one, and you do one.
Okay,
yeah, cool.
I'll learn from watching you.
Nah, you got it. You know, and you don't want them to be massive because we are gonna fry this, and it's gonna gain at least another like 25% of this volume.
Wow.
Yeah, so it'll be a pretty substantial little sandwich afterward. And that's it.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, you got it.
So I'll make it into a ball first, because that's what I know.
And then I kind of flatten it down a little bit in the middle. That way it cooks all the way through when we fry it later.
Making a football baby here.
It's like making a mud pie when you're a kid, you know? Did you do that in New York? Yeah. Like a pro. Let's go.
I mean, I have a good teacher.
Yeah. So we kind of set up a little breading station here. We've got some Japanese panko. So Japanese panko is a little bit thicker in grit. In Japan, they use one that's even bigger. We're gonna just make a real simple tempura batter. We don't need a ton, so we'll just go with a little bit of water here. And I like to use chopsticks. I'll use my fancy chopsticks because I'm being extra today. You don't want to mix this too much, because if you mix it too much, then it becomes broken. If you do a whisk, you're gonna really bring it together. Yeah, and it's gonna break down. So now you can kind of see we've just got this loose batter. It should should move on its own like that. It shouldn't sit when you move it around. So, and now we're just gonna go old school like you're frying chicken.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
And we'll just drop that straight into the flour. And then we're gonna get in with our hands, just like grandma. This is just the glue for that tempura batter to stay on there, you know, get any of that excess shaken off. And then we'll go into the batter. I like to kind of bring my hand underneath it and then flip it, barely coat it. Drop that right in. So we'll do 2 of these. Normally you want a wet hand, dry hand, but kind of going past that method right now. So then we'll bring it in here.
My hand?
Yep, and then just kind of sprinkle some on top, and that's gonna kind of bring it together. From there, we're just gonna kind of scoop into the breadcrumbs underneath it, so we keep all that on there. You want a lot of breadcrumbs on it, because a lot of that's just gonna come off when we throw it in the fryer anyways, but you want more than less. A little more on top, and as this sits, it's gonna set a little bit, and all of those breadcrumbs are gonna kind of soak into that batter, and that's where we're gonna get that super, super crunchy, crispy katsu.
You guys deserve to see this work of art we just created. Look at that. Look at Chef Harry. He's trying very hard to be serious. What's next? What do we got going on over here?
Your typical burger sauce. So we've got some whole grain mustard, a little bit of ketchup, some vegan mayo, and then also some pickle relish, pickled ginger, and onions. I like to do kind of like a 50-50 mayo and mustard, and then a little sweetness from the ketchup, and then some sweet pickle relish, and then some really fine minced white onion. This pickled ginger is young ginger, so it's a little bit more pungent, and then we'll just give it a little bit of chive for some color and also just that herbaceous flavor, and then we just season this. And then again, back to the black pepper. If you go get a smash burger anywhere, this is essentially what you'd have, you know?
Right. We have the patties that we made, which we had put in the refrigerator to kind of tighten up.
So when we drop this in, there's gonna be a lot of flakes coming around the outside.
Okay.
The key is to skim those as fast as possible so it doesn't burn and kill your oil.
Okay.
So we'll just have to keep moving it and make sure it doesn't touch the bottom of the pan so it doesn't burn. And we're just gonna go straight in.
All right. Yeah.
Normally I would fry something like this on the truck at 325. I took it all the way up to 350 because I knew we were gonna lose a little bit of temperature. So we'll just kind of monitor it. I'll use my handy dandy thermo here. You can kind of see the top of this is starting to form a crust.
Yeah.
But at the bottom here, we're really getting some good color. So we'll just flip this bad boy over. So I'm gonna do it one more turn.
So talk to me about the first Katsu Sando you ever had.
So when I was a kid, my dad would do it in the sushi bar as like family meal, you know? So
Yeah.
I grew up in a sushi bar. I worked with him, pretty much from the time I was 13 on. And I can always track that because that's when I started getting in trouble. Food is that's my language. Whether it's cooking it or eating it, that's just kind of where
I feel that.
I find my happiness at, Now we're starting to see some action on top. We can kind of turn that back off. That right now is just a lot of that moisture expelling out from the mushrooms.
Right. Okay, we're getting that nice golden color coming through.
Absolutely. And what I'll do is just kind of not put a wet spoon in oil.
Right.
Don't do that at home. But I'll kind of just keep that oil moving over top of it. As far as I can remember, my entire family has always been food and beverage. It's just something that we've always done, something we've always known. It's been life. I'm grateful for that and I'm proud of that. As a kid, I probably didn't see it that way, but it was probably the best gift they could ever give me, the ability to feed myself and feed other people.
What kind of restaurant did they have, if you don't mind me asking?
It was like a drive-in, so it was like like a real Sonic.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. My grandmother, she would work the the curb hop, so she was on skates.
No way.
Yeah. That was kind of the family business for a long time, and then I think they closed that in the 60s sometime. And my mom started working for a Japanese restaurant. And that's where she met my dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
We love the kitchen.
Yeah. If you work in a restaurant, if you don't have regular friends. You end
the
up
kitchen romance is always inevitable.
The restaurant romance is always there, and so it's cool that I can kind of, keep that going for the family too. I'm hoping that I'm the last one. I'm hoping. Here's hoping.
It ends with me. That's looking really good.
Yeah, we got some good color on this now. What I like to do, especially when I fry anything, is I like to season it right when it comes out. It kind of absorbs that salt.
The salt melts right into it.
So from here, we're gonna make a sandwich.
I am excited because that means we're one step closer to meat eating. So I see you brought out the bread.
That's right. So we're gonna cut some pretty thick slices, and then I just got a little bit of oil in that pan. Throw it in your toaster, whatever you want to do at home. While that's going, we've got our pickles, and then this right here is just some really nice, finely shaved cabbage, and then our burger sauce that we made earlier, nice and chunky. Now we got some nice color on the bread.
Look at that.
Yeah, it worked. So now we're gonna build our sandwich. So we'll put just a little bit of this on the bottom, and then we're gonna go with some nice cabbage. I like to give it a good mounding, heaping handful of that. And then we'll give it some pickles. And we're gonna go down with our minchi, the monster minchi.
The monster minchi.
And then we're gonna just give it a nice,
saucy layer.
Healthy dose of this. You can go heavy on it. Now we're just gonna top her off.
Wow.
Every Sando on our truck gets cut in half. Love to see that cross section. So we're just gonna go down. This isn't mom's French toast, so don't come after me with the triangle versus a rectangle thing. I don't wanna hear it.
Boy,
our mushroom minchi.
Look at that.
There's our minchi.
She's gorgeous.
That's our mushroom minchi from Urban Gourmet Farms Mushrooms.
Look at that. I mean, I think there's only one thing left to do, Chef.
Hopefully it tastes good.
We have to taste it.
There's a very specific way to eat a Sando, okay?
Okay.
This isn't a cheeseburger, guys, so you can't go in the middle, okay? You gotta go from the end. Eat it like a hot dog.
Okay, okay, Chef. We did that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it.
That doesn't suck.
He's being humble. Wow, the crunch on that, sensational. That sauce and that moisture on that fry.
There's a lot going on.
You get the mushrooms, you get the sauciness, you get the ginger, and it's very subtle. Nothing is extremely overpowering, which I love. And it's everything that you would want from like an ideal sandwich. I think you really did that. I think we're gonna crown Chef Perry the Mushroom King today.
Mushroom King, I'll take it.
Mushroom King today. Like, so we ate, we cooked, we morphed mushrooms and made a delicious patty in this Sando. This is Chef Perry. Thank you for having me in your kitchen today.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see y'all try it at home. And if you don't, then come to North Carolina and get you the best Sando you've ever had in North Carolina at Katsu Kart. Love y'all.
Stoked
See you in the next episode. Thanks, Chef.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.